arms. So you only need 2 workouts for arms if you're trying to get bigger biceps and triceps. You only really need to lengthen. Hold on, let me darken it. You only need to lengthen, and pump. You know, a lot of people get that misconstrued. It's like chimpanzees and gymnasts have big arms. They don't do any curls. You don't need a curl to make big arms. What you need is lengthening and pumping of the muscles of the arms. So I'll show you how to do that when I get to the park. Can't do this workout at my house. That's why I'm taking you guys on a ride. You're at the park, you know, sometimes it could be competitive. You know, you see people there, you compete. You know, sometimes it could be energizing, you help somebody out. Sometimes you could be lethargic and somebody there just boosts your energy, corrects your form, you learn something. So I enjoy going to the park just as much as I enjoy working out in the crib. That's another thing I want to talk about when it comes to arms, especially if you're a beginner. You should be doing only hammer curls. It really be bugging me out when I see people doing preacher curls and they don't have any arms. You have to build up your arm. This is what I've been trying to tell people about lengthening your arm. You gotta do hammer curls. You have to work the length of the arm. This is why you see a lot of people tearing their biceps or, you know, injuring themselves because they concentrate way too much on the peak of their bicep opposed to the length of their bicep. You gotta train the meat. You gotta work the meat. Pause. You know, I gotta say pause because always work on the length portion of the bicep, the stretch, because that's what's gonna give you the big ball. So you think of it as like a mound of clay. You know, do you want more clay to work with or do you want a little bit of clay to work with? When you're working on just preacher curls and just curling like this, you're only working with a little bit of clay opposed to making a big lump of clay and then shaping the peak. You shouldn't be working on your peak so early, especially if you're a beginner. You should just be building up your biceps, just trying to build up the ball because you want that tennis ball. You know, you want that big tennis ball bicep. So you need a lump of clay. And you look at gymnasts. Gymnasts don't do curls, but they have a big ball. The reason why they have a big ball on their bicep is because they work their bicep in a lengthened fashion. They're always working on the lengthened portion of the bicep, opposed to the peak portion, the short head, hammer curls, long heads. If you're weight training. If you're not weight training, you're doing calisthenics like me, then I'm gonna show you how to work that today when we get into the park. Just gotta try to get to the park. A lot of traffic in New York City. As y'all can see, this is why I stay in my backyard and I just work out. Oh, also wanted to do a giveaway. You know, God has blessed me, so why not help another? You know, I'm fortunate enough or blessed enough to be able to be in a position to actually help somebody. Comment below. I don't know how we work that out. You know, comment, subscribe, like. What would be a word that you can use? You know, you write gas in the comments or something like that. I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out. You write something in the comments and then I'll put you in a randomizer and then you have a chance to win a pull-up bar. Hopefully you in the US because I'm gonna send it through Amazon. If you don't have Amazon where you at, then I'll have to figure something else out. See me doing something wrong, you want to kick game, shoot the game in the comments. Hit me up, DM me on Instagram or whatever, and give me the game so I could give the people. You know, if you feel I'm leading somebody wrong, you're like, nah, he's not giving the good information. Yo, correct me, and I'll correct it. There's no ego over here, no issue whatsoever, and I'll try it out. You know, I'm not someone who's just gonna give you blind knowledge. So much potholes in New York City, and you don't really notice it while you're driving, but I notice it now because I got a gimbal attachment. But welcome to New York. I had to come to the park for this workout because my bars at home are not strong enough. The only 2 workouts you need to build your biceps and triceps and a little bit of your forearms is headbangers and then directly after dips. And you only need 2 max out sets. So first you start with your headbangers. Legs up for balance and for abs. Pull up, push out. And you just want to max these out. Now, what that does is it lengthens your bicep so that you get a really, really big ball. Remember I was telling you about the ball of your bicep. This will stretch out your bicep and give you a big bicep. Then directly after that, because I'm talking, hold on. Go straight to your dips. We're gonna go straight to our dips. Right here with it. Right after, you gotta max out. Max out. I'm not gonna max out right now. But y'all get the point. And you gotta pump both parts of your arm. If the dips is too hard, do shorty push-ups, because that's still gonna pump your arm. And there's different dips you can do. You can do inward, this way. And that'll work the long arm on your tricep. Or you can do straight bar dips, which also works the long arm on your tricep. If your headbangers are too hard, hold on, let me get you here. You come right here and you do your headbangers here with the rows. Same thing. And it's still gonna hit your biceps. Switch up. This is the peak, but it's still gonna hit the bicep. And those two things you do, max out. And if that's still too hard, you come right here and do your chin-ups to hit the ball of your biceps. But you do shorty chin-ups. You don't come all the way down. Just come right here. And that is gonna work your bis and your tris. Those are your 2 sets, and you're done, and you move on to your real workout. Your sets and reps. Hold on, the light is crazy. Because what happens is, now when you move on to your real workout, do your pull-ups, your pushes, or even your leg, second workout. That's it. Yeah, you got it. Simplest thing you can do, and it'll definitely build up your arms. Peace.